figured I'd make my way back home, 'cause I'm sick of this weather and this damned old cold. If I could find a light for this wet cigarette, I forget about the road and this mess I'm in. Watching me make my own mistakes, and I wish I could break this window pane. If you'd answer the phone and keep your pride away, one shot, baby, this is what I'd say. And I'm finally finding myself. I wish you'd take this chance and give it hell. And if you still want me, let me know. Because I'm 14 miles from home. Sitting on the fence 'cause my truck broke down. There's a radiator fluid all over the ground. And luck is like a friend that speaks behind your back. But I ain't worried about things like that, because I'm finally finding myself. I wish you'd take this chance and give it hell. And if you still want me, let me know. Because I'm 14 miles from home. And I'm addicted to the reason that believing won't let it die. And I ain't worried about chance, and been driving all damn night. Because I'm finally finding myself. I wish you'd take this chance and give it hell. And if you still want me, let me know. Because I'm 14 miles from home. And I got one more mile to go. Amarillo by morning, up from San Antone. Everything that I got is just what I've got on. When that sun is high in that Texas sky, I'll be bucking at the county fair. Amarillo by morning, Amarillo, I'll be there. They took my saddle in Houston, broke my leg in Santa Fe. Lost my wife and a girlfriend somewhere along the way. But I'll be looking for 8 when they pull that gate, and I hope that judge ain't blind. Amarillo by morning, Amarillo's on my mind. Amarillo by morning, up from San Antonio. Everything that I got is just what I've got on. I ain't got a dime, but what I got is mine. I ain't rich, but Lord, I'm free. Amarillo by morning, Amarillo's where I'll be. Amarillo by morning, Amarillo's where I'll be. I was driving through Georgia in late July on a day hot enough to make the devil sigh. I saw a homemade sign written in red, Ryan County Watermelon Festival ahead. Well, I wasn't in a hurry, so I slowed down, took a 2-lane road to a 1-horse town. There was a party going on. When I got there, I heard a welcome speech from a small town man. He said, we got 100 gallons of sweet red wine made from the biggest watermelons on the vine. Help yourself to some, but obey the law. If you drink, don't drive, do the watermelon crawl. When the band started playing, the Watermelon Queen said, let me show you something that you ain't never seen. She grabbed me by the arm, said, come on, let's go. She dipped down, spun around, and do-si-do. She rocked back on her heels, dropped down to her knees, crawled across the floor, then she jumped back on her feet. She wiggled and she jiggled, beat all you ever saw. Said, this is how you do the watermelon crawl. She said, we got 100 gallons of sweet red wine made from the biggest watermelons on the vine. Help yourself to some, but obey the law. If you drink, don't drive, do the watermelon crawl. Down in Georgia around about July, if you ain't in a hurry, then you ought to stop by. I can guarantee that you're gonna have a ball learning how to do the watermelon crawl. Well, we got 100 gallons of sweet red wine made from the biggest watermelons on the vine. Help yourself to some, but obey the law. If you drink, don't drive, do the watermelon crawl. They do the watermelon crawl. Have fun, you all. They do the watermelon crawl. Well, I'm gonna raise a fuss, I'm gonna raise a holler about working all summer just to try and earn $1. Every time I call my baby to try to get a date, my boss says, no dice, son, you gotta work late. Sometimes I wonder what I'm gonna do, 'cause there ain't no cure for the summertime blues. Well, my mom and papa
told me, son, you gotta make some money. If you wanna use a car to go riding next Sunday. Well, I didn't go to work, told the boss I was sick. Now you can't use a car cause you didn't work a lick. Sometimes I wonder what I'm gonna do, cause there ain't no cure for the summertime blues. I'm gonna take 2 weeks, gonna have a vacation. I'm gonna take my problem to the United Nations. Well, I called my congressman and he said, quote, I'd like to help you, son, but you're too young to vote. Sometimes I wonder what I'm gonna do, cause there ain't no cure for the summertime blues. About working all summer just to try and earn $1. Sometimes I wonder what I'm gonna do, cause there ain't no cure for the summertime blues. Yeah, sometimes I wonder what I'm gonna do, cause there ain't no cure for the summertime blues. No, there ain't no cure for the summertime blues.
Baby, what do you say we just get lost? Leave this one-horse town like two rebels without a cause. I've got people in Boston, ain't your daddy still in Des Moines? We can pack up tomorrow, tonight let's flip a coin. Somewhere greener, somewhere warmer, up in the mountains, down by the ocean, where it don't matter, long as we're going somewhere together. I've got a quarter, heads Carolina, tails California. We can load what we own in the back of a U-Haul van. Couple modern day Moses searching for the promised land. We can go 400 miles before we stop for gas. We could drive for a day and then we'll take a look at the map. Oh, heads Carolina, tails California, somewhere greener, somewhere warmer, up in the mountains, down by the ocean, where it don't matter, long as we're going somewhere together. I've got a quarter, heads Carolina, tails California. We're gonna get out of here if we gotta ride a Greyhound bus. Boy, we're bound to outrun the bad luck that's tailing us. Oh, heads Carolina, tails California, somewhere greener, somewhere warmer, up in the mountains, down by the ocean, where it don't matter, long as we're going somewhere together. Tell me about the good old days. Sometimes it feels like this world's gone crazy. Grandpa, take me back to yesterday, when the line between right and wrong didn't seem so hazy. Did lovers really fall in love to stay, stand beside each other, come what may? Is promise really something people kept, not just something they would say? Families really bow their heads to pray, daddies really never go away. Oh, oh, Grandpa, tell me about the good old days. Grandpa, everything is changing fast. We call it progress, but I just don't know. And Grandpa, let's wander back into the past, then paint me the picture of long ago. Lovers really fall in love to stay, stand beside each other, come what may? Is promise really something people kept, not just something they would say and then forget? Families really bow their heads to pray, daddies really never